From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the Hourly News Blast. Trib Live is reporting that curled up in a ball inside the courthouse, a little boy was too terrified to speak about the sexual abuse he endured. A therapy dog from the Center for Victims made its way over to the boy and laid down. The boy, hesitant, started petting the dog's fur. "Can he come with me?" "Yes," said Laurie MacDonald, president of Center for Victims, a nonprofit organization that provides services, advocacy, and education for victims of all crime. With the dog at his side, he went in and testified, MacDonald said. Funding for the canine program has since been revoked, and like dozens of rape crisis centers across Pennsylvania, Center for Victims has struggled to maintain services amid 5 years of flat state funding, and Governor Josh Shapiro's proposed 2025-2026 budget offers zero relief. For rape crisis centers, the Pennsylvania 25-26 budget suggests the possibility of entering a fifth year without increases in funding. Pennsylvania Coalition to Advance Respect Director and Chief Operating Officer Joyce Lukema said the centers have felt the impact of the stagnant budget since 2021. "It's an incredibly stressful time for rape crisis centers," Lukema said. "The cost of everything has increased, so not having an increase in funding is basically like having a decrease." Documents from the Office of the Budget show that in 21-22, the state gave centers an additional $1,000, which brought funding up from $10,921 up to $11,921. Since then, the budget line has remained consistent. Last year, domestic violence received a 12.4% increase, which brought funding to over $22,000. Since domestic violence received additional funding last year, many rape crisis advocates thought the upcoming year might mean more money. However, the 25-26 budget proposes allocating the same amount, $11,921, to rape crisis once again, according to the Commonwealth's 25-26 proposed budget line item appropriation. Gabriela Romeo, PCAR's public policy director, and said all services provided to survivors are free of charge and designed to offer robust services where people can walk into a center and easily find a program equipped to meet their needs. It's hard for people to understand the cost of what it takes to run an organization that provides 24/7 care for survivors of sexual abuse, assault, and harassment is incredible, Lukema said. Many people do not realize that domestic violence and rape crisis are separate entities, Romeo said. "We've had to explain, well, actually, no, we didn't get that. That was not for the rape crisis line item. Now, some of our programs are dual programs, meaning they receive funding from both domestic violence and sexual assault. So some programs would have benefited from that line item, but not all of our rape crisis programs," she said. The budget for domestic violence also will not increase this year, according to the 25-26 proposed budget. While the rape crisis item line has been flat funded, there are other ways victims of sexual violence might receive support. Shapiro proposed a $9 million investment in the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency's Victims Compensation Assistance Program in the 25-26 state budget to help stabilize the fund, according to a news release. VCAP serves as a critical financial lifeline for individuals affected by crime. However, the money goes directly to a victim rather than to a crisis center. Since 2021, the program has paid more than $27,300 claims totaling over $24 million for costs associated with sexual assaults, said Allison Gantz, a spokeswoman for the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency. Governor Shapiro's 25-26 budget provides grant funding for rape crisis services for approximately 25,000 victims of sexual violence and their significant others. Rape crisis centers, as well as domestic violence programs, and their staff need and deserve continued support, and DHS continues to work with our partners in the General Assembly to support these centers, Press Secretary Brandon Qualina said Thursday in a statement to Trib Live. Shapiro's office did not answer specific questions about why the rape crisis item line had been flat funded or address concern from rape crisis centers that say they will struggle to maintain legally required services without increased financial support. Those are some really good questions for Governor Shapiro. And we got to say, frankly, we're a little disgusted. No, very disgusted with the Pennsylvania Senate for barely being in session the whole damn year. We demand the PA Senate step up, get back to work, and get the budget passed. Folks, this is part one of the story. We'll share part two in our follow up. From August 12th through August 15th, Pennsylvania Equality Project and PEP Radio will be participating in Crawford Gives Days. This is our only major fundraising event all year. Every dollar we raise will support the programs we run. For details, visit the PEP Radio page at paequality.com. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast right here on PEP Radio.